Welcome to the first best of 5 of the evening. We're on Echo, spawning to the top left-hand corner in orange, playing Protoss for Rival and the USA. It's Koshkii. And to the bottom right, in teal, playing Terran for Triple T and Mexico, it's Grizzly. With the Protoss heart already greeting her opponent, such fair players, it always amazes me. In the meantime, we have Koshkii probably going for a normal gateway expand. Let's see if she just expands right afterwards, or if she just wants to get a cybernetics core out before that. So a simulator going down as well. In the meantime, we have the first barracks for Grizzly. Nothing all too uncommon. Yeah, these two are still playing on the old maps because Koshkii and Grizzly arranged their match right after last week's match, so they were still playing their match with the old patch and with the old maps. So just in case you were wondering, all the other matches were played on the new maps. So we will have a good look at the new maps a little bit later on, but that's just the first best of 5, and they will all play with the old season maps. So Koshkii just scouting her opponent. In the meantime, she's already taken her Nexus. Will now just plant down the cybernetics core as soon as she's got her 150 minerals. In the meantime, Grizzly already banking up a lot of money, probably because she just wants to plant down a base of her own. And here it goes, the low ground command center. So in the meantime, we have the probe just running out once more. Actually, yeah, I mean, this SCV is actually pretty vulnerable in the meantime, so Koshkii could just walk down. It's pretty exposed, so she could just walk down, try to terrorize it a little bit, being kind of a nuisance because Grizzly would have to pull another SCV in order to help protect this SCV, or she would actually just have to pull this one away, maybe delaying the base a little bit longer. So, but now the Reaper is out, will walk across the map to get some scouting information, maybe a drone probe kill here or there, but Koshkii should be micro-wise good enough in order to keep this from happening. So let's see, Reaper is already running, using his booster pack, and now we'll use the Reaper Stair, probably in order to get inside Koshkii's main base. There it hops. But an Adept is already out, so I think Koshkii will not take any harm. Ooh! Even actually really wants to take out that Reaper and gets it with the help of the Photon Overcharge here, which actually means she will have 50 energy less later on for a potential push, but she probably knows her opponent pretty well, knowing that Grizzly is not really going for that heavy of an early aggression. Most of the time she just does her 2-1-1 build, waiting for the 16 Marine drop to deal some damage, but I think Koshkii is already expecting this and will probably already know how to respond to that. Another gateway going down, Mothership Core is out, as we've already seen, because of that Photon Overcharge, and now she tries to saturate her natural base as quickly as possible. So in the meantime, the Adept trying to get some scouting information as well. Will probably shade in a little bit to see something. Unfortunately for Protoss, due to the last nerf, the Adept shade does not really have that much vision range anymore, as we can see right now. So it's a little bit more difficult to see what's actually going on and where the units actually are and what is being researched. But at least she sees that there's a bunker and that there already is a mule and an orbital command down on the low ground. So that's at least the information she gets out so far. Sends out an observer to the left-hand side because she expects drop to get in from there. We'll see if Grizzly is actually going to do that. She has already planted down her starboard, just waits for the reactor to finish on the factory in order to switch these two buildings to start double medevac production immediately, while already researching stim. And as we said before, she just produces a lot of Marines in the meantime, waits for the 2 medevacs to happen, which should happen at a point in time when her opponent, when she herself has 60 Marines out, and then she will just load all of them into the 2 medevacs flying across the map, trying to harass her opponent at some point inside her bases. So, Observer just waiting here for the medevacs to come in, giving Koshkii just the information that something is happening before it actually happens inside her base. So, War Prism getting going out as well. Do we have... Oh, yes, we do have a Dark Shrine. So that's where the DTs come into play. They will now fly into the main base. In the meantime, Marines clearing the Adept down here, just cancelling a lot of vision from Koshkii here. Well, Grizzly already has a supply depot back here, so she now should know that something is headed towards her base if she was looking at her minimap, but she wasn't. And we have a turret down here, but it just depends on how fast she actually reacts. Koshkii does not even care about the missile turret, does not really want to take it out. I think she could have easily done so, but just wants to take out as many SCVs in the meantime as she can. Grizzly just packs all of her units inside the medivacs and now unloads them inside the main base. The Dark Templar is being seen due to that missile turret, but in the meantime, where is the second? Oh, there it is. There's the second Dark Templar who has already killed the supply depot over here. Tank is sieging, but unfortunately there's no vision here. Now the scan goes down. Oh, the tank just shoots one time and the second time, but the Dark Templar still gets two Marines. That's, of course, the problem with DTs. Even if they are revealed, they still deal tremendous amounts of damage. So in the meantime, we have Widow mines being produced, so it seems as if Grizzly just wants to add some mine hits towards her little push here. In the meantime, we have an Immortal tucked back into the into the main base. I think that was a small little mistake. Maybe Koshkii just wanted it to have in order to kill like mines quickly enough before they can actually burrow, but I don't really know if that was actually the case or if that was just a misrally. We will probably never know. I think it was a misrally because of this robotics. Yeah, it was. This robotics facility, well, maybe not a misrally, it's just rallied towards this position. So that was why the Immortal was still there. But like I said, could actually work to kill a mine before it can actually burrow itself. So, is it the mine inside? No. Okay, we only have mines plus we only have Marines plus one Marauder. In the meantime, we have the big push of Koshkii coming from the right-hand side. We also have a Warp Prism in the mix. Almost no forces back in Grizzly's natural base, so this bunker will go down in an instant almost. Now the missile turret will fall as well, and now we don't even have detection close by. There's this missile turret over here, but it doesn't grant too much of a vision range to help with these cloaked units over here. Fortunately, no. Okay, nothing more seems. I don't know what the detection actually is. This tank was mostly just firing at the Archons and the Zealots here. So right now, Koshkii just forces Grizzly to fly her command center inside her main base. At the same time, we have her little terror force just terrorizing Koshkii's base. So Dark Templar should actually just clear this up quite easily. The biggest problem for Grizzly right now is that she just doesn't have enough scans available. The one orbital command does not have enough energy. The other one still floating in the main. And yeah, that's GG. Grizzly gives up and Koshkii takes the first map. Overgrowth is our second map in this best of 5. Spawning to the bottom left in orange we have Koshkii, and to the top right it's Grizzly. So as I said before, this best of 5 was played with the old patch still working. Koshkii and Grizzly played right after the last season day. So that was when the new patch hadn't arrived yet. And so we will just have a look at this match on the old maps, but then all the other matches will be played on the new ones. So same opening here for Grizzly, I guess. It's what she does most of the time, so I don't really expect anything new out of her for now. Probably typical gateway spawn for Koshkii as well. The interesting thing will be into what she wants to transition afterwards, and if she goes for DTs once more. This map actually allows this a lot. She could actually even go for some sort of proxy robo somewhere around this position here, I think. Would be worth trying. Sometimes you can even abuse that position over here where you just plant on a pylon and a gateway, and then you can just warp in units across the gap right inside the natural base of your opponent. So that's something people sometimes do as well. I think we saw either Miyako or Poison maybe do it in one map. Or in one match, I can't really recall it, but I remember that we saw it just a few weeks ago within the FSL. If you find the match in the VODs, just let me know which match it was, but I think it might have been Piscalida versus Poison, or maybe Miyako against someone else. Maybe Miyako against Koshkii? I don't really know. So, command center going down for Grizzly, while she's producing the first Reaper. Reaper will then get rid of that annoying probe inside the main base, and we have somebody screaming outside, and I don't really know what's going on there. Hope you don't mind. People dying outside, but we don't care. It's StarCraft time. So, yeah, like I said, Nexus going down. We have the Cybernetics core down as well, researching Warp Gate. Just waiting for the second barracks for Grizzly, and afterwards the factory and the starport. And yeah, like I said again, the good old 2-1-1, pretty common, pretty standard, pretty safe and secure, but also pretty predictable. And a Stargate opening for Koshkii this time around, probably with some oracles, I feel. Nothing out on the map for now. Adept just chasing off the Reaper here. Did the Reaper actually see anything of interest? I don't really think so. No, not even managed to get inside the main base at all. So no information so far. We'll see whether Grizzly is going to sacrifice one of her precious scans in order to get the information. Or then she sacrifices no scan, but she sacrifices the energy for a mule in order to get a scan, and that's something you normally don't really want to do as a Terran, especially not once you're committed to get a Reaper out. So, in the meantime, we also have Koshkii building a Stalker that will help her to keep the Reaper away, so she really wants to make sure that her opponent does not really know what's happening. Maybe she even wants to wait for more oracles before she finally crosses the map and tries to kill her opponent, which would maybe deal game-ending damage if like 4 or 5 oracles fly into your base at once and you have never expected them to come at you. Then yeah, that could actually end horribly. But it seems as if Koshkii just wants to fly across the map right now and deal some damage with the one oracle that she has. No missile turrets inside the main base yet. Grizzly does have an engineering bay, and she might just blindly build the missile turret, as I was expecting here. As we can see, Grizzly not really scouting as much, and she hasn't really seen anything. And I think this turret is just part of her build. I think she builds this missile turret no matter what, because it's just safe. She knows that there's a possibility of oracles, of DTs, of a lot of stuff that could just get inside her main base, and for what she would need, either detection or something anti-air. So a turret is always just a good thing. So here the oracle comes in, one missile turret already catching it off guard, the second one getting as well, and Koshkii gets her oracle destroyed without actually killing a worker? No, at least got one worker kill, but that was totally not worth it. So impeccable defense there by Grizzly. Of course invested a lot into these missile turrets here, but they have already paid off quite a lot, so nice catch there. And now it might be Grizzly's time to return the favor of harassment. We don't have 60 Marines yet, so it seems as if her build got effed up a little bit here. But Stim is almost through, so once these medevacs actually arrive at the opposite side of the map, it will be done, and then that could actually potentially deal a lot of damage here. Koshkii already has some pylons in place. The mothership core is a little bit out of place, so it will take some time to get this photon overcharge fired up. But she also has a void ray and 2 stalkers, so I think Grizzly needs to be very careful not to lose any of those. Now the second void ray is already in place, is already attacking one of the medevacs here. Now Grizzly boosts inside the main base, but like I said before, will she get out of it once more? Now the photon overcharge is there, the stalkers are already in position. Marines at least taking down that void ray here, so that at least something they get, maybe in the second void ray as well. Now want to fly out, but unfortunately photon overcharge plus the stalker fire just takes it down, losing 2 complete medevacs against 2 void rays. Might be kind of an even-ish trade, so I guess it's kinda okay, but of course not the best outcome that Grizzly would have hoped for. Well, Koshkii is taking a 3rd base at the same time, which will just pay off in about 2 minutes if Grizzly is not really doing anything against it. So, Grizzly really needs to either deal more damage or get her macro up If we just have a look at the units, it's 57 probes to 35 SCVs. A look at the income tab just tells us that Koshkii is already ahead with only 2 bases mining. The third one will just get saturated a few seconds later, and then this income will just get boosted. This little income boost just comes from mules probably. And now we have 61 workers to the 36. Right now the income looks kinda even due to mules, but now you can actually see how Koshkii is already getting ahead. Going into a Templar archive right behind it. Interesting choice there to go into the Templar tech, which is a tech we don't even see that often anymore, that early in the game. Since Widow Mines just make it a bit more complicated for Protoss to go into Templar attack. It's a little bit more of reliable AoE damage than, for example, Disruptor shots are, but of course the most reliable damage that's actually being dealt by Protoss area of effect is the Colossus, of course, and that's why we usually see Colossus play pretty often right now, and have seen it being done for quite some time now. So, the big push is coming from the right-hand side. Koshkii does not know of it yet, will a bit luckily get informed by that one adept over here, so just the right time she sent it out. Okay, we have 2 pylons here, a third one shall be built, but it will probably not finish right in time, will probably just get taken out immediately. And then only a little bit of a gateway unit here, okay, trying to take out the Liberators before they can actually siege up, but now Koshkii is fighting partly underneath these liberation zones, taking out the second Liberator as well, but in the meantime we have the charge slots just closing the distance to the rest of the army, driving Grizzly away completely. Wow, that was more decisive than I actually would have thought it would be. And in the meantime, Koshkii just taking a 4th base before the 10-minute mark right behind it, while Grizzly is actually only on 2, having a 3rd command center inside her main base, but will probably just get it around the 10-minute mark. Now Koshkii, even expecting her opponent to already having a 3rd base, is walking towards it. Will probably be quite surprised to see that there's nothing here, and will then probably just walk into the natural base. There's not much here. We have 2 tanks at least, and they are already sieged, or will be already sieged at the meantime, but I don't really know if it matters. I mean, Koshkii can just try to deal some damage here, or just always walk away without any damage dealt. It doesn't really matter. She doesn't really need to deal any damage. She can just easily lay back, saturate this 4th base over here, make sure that Grizzly will never ever take her 3rd either over here or here. Now we have a small little engagement over here, probably most of the troops just trying to get the Protoss force into the fire range of those tanks. Tanks just firing, but the bunker goes down immediately. The rest of the border race take down the Liberator as well, and the rest of the army units now crushing into the natural base of Grizzly here. 125 to 55 GG, and Grizzly has to give up. Koshkii takes the 2nd map as well. Welcome to Daybreak, our 3rd map of this best of 5. Leading 2-0 was Koshkii over our blue Terran Grizzly. Grizzly has to take 3 games in a row, and that will probably be an almost impossible task to do, considering that she's lost pretty convincingly the last 2 matches she played against her opponent. So let's see if she can take at least the next map off of her opponent. Otherwise, Koshkii will win 3-0 and will thus have not lost a single best of 5 series throughout the season, ending the season in 1st place with a 13-0 statistic. So pretty nicely done if it's going to happen. So Koshkii already scouting with a little probe. In the meantime, getting 2 gas geysers here. So might actually be a little bit later of an expand, or maybe even just 1 base play. We'll see what it's going to happen. Maybe actually Koshkii just wants to plant down a pylon here and go into photon overcharge harassment early on. We'll see to that. She's just seen that her opponent has built barracks and also a 2nd supply depot pretty early on, earlier than usual. So she really wanted to nag Koshkii to get inside the main base, which might actually just it will not maybe make Koshkii panic or go like real ape shit, but at least maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable because of not being able to scout. But yeah, she's already planned some sort of proxy shenanigans on one base. Let's see what's going to happen once the cybernetics core goes down. I guess it's going to be a Stargate, but maybe it's going to be a close by robo in order to break through this wall with the help of Immortals. Nope, it's going to be Stargate. That was pretty likely, but yeah, you never know. So in the meantime, we have Grizzly also checking for proxies here. She might actually even find it. Okay, there's one Marine just walking, well, not really circles, but just walking left and right while the SCV is still scouting. And so, oh my god, she might just barely miss it. How unfortunate would that be? Okay, yeah, I think that one should see it, yeah, especially with that routing here. So she should just come past by it, and there she sees it. So now she knows that it's a Stargate. Let's see how soon she actually reacts to maybe turn around and see what it was. Or did she actually click on it? I don't really know. But now she knows what's going on. Another gateway as well. So this is a full all-out, this is a full all-in. Probably going to build void rays out of that Stargate and just wants to have this gateway for quicker warp-ins here. So we're just waiting for the first void ray, I guess. No! It's going to be Oracle first and then probably void ray right behind it, just using the first Oracle in order to deal some damage inside the main base already, maybe even forcing her opponent to spend some resources into more workers instead of more units. But Grizzly, having already discovered what her opponent is up to, is already producing a lot of barracks here. Actually, that was kind of an old Wings of Liberty and partly out of the Swarm opener, where you would just go one Rex fast expand and then just go into double barracks right behind it in order to make up for the few units you had only been producing throughout the early minutes of the game. So let's see how it's actually going to work. There's the second, there's the Void Ray. Oracle just moving around, see that there's no base. Of course not. I mean, I think Koshkii could have just guessed that, and she probably has. Now just flying in, we just have not enough Marines. Actually, this Oracle could just fly in and kill the few Marines that Grizzly already has, making it more problematic for her to defend that push. I think that would have been a nice move there by Koshkii. I think you actually need 5 Marines in order to take out one Oracle. So like I said before, that could have actually been quite interesting here, just taking out small units left and right. And like I said, every unit that is killed now will not help defending this push. We also have a mothership core in place as well. Do we still have a probe here? We do. So maybe this probe will even throw down a pylon pretty close. I don't know what Grizzly is doing. Why the hell is she moving out with only 5 units? Like I said, an Oracle alone might even be able to kill those. This is really, really risky. She could just easily walk into the arms of her opponent. I think she really wants to apply some kind of counter pressure, which could kind of work because the mothership core is not at home anymore. But of course, Protoss does have warp-ins, so I mean, unless there really is a very unfortunate timing for Koshkii, she will always be able to defend at home using warp-ins. I mean, these 5 Marines can even get killed by those probes. Okay, now the big attack is coming. We have some counter repair going on in that bunker, but it eventually falls. Like I said before, there are pylons, and the mothership core is still alive, has banked a lot of energy, so now the photon overcharge will help out as well. Grizzly already has to lift her orbit command. I think she's really underestimated what's going to happen here, even tried to really get her orbit command down to really expand. I mean, she must have known that she can never hold this against an early 1-base push. At the meantime, we have, like I said before, some pushback at her base, but the adepts cleared up. GG, and Koshkii takes the last game for a quick 3-0.